even if you don't get in, just know that it's probably like not your fault. Like, so many people get rejected, early action. And I was like, oh, okay. But like, I was a little bit scared, but then he was like, oh my gosh, congratulations, you got in. So
we're gonna do the interview, Harvard acceptance. Can you please introduce yourself?
yeah, hi. I don't really know how to go about this, but I'm a senior right now. I was thankfully accepted into Harvard early action. Yeah.
Reaction. So how old are you right now?
I am 18.
Can you tell me which major did you enter?
Yeah, so when I applied as a biology major, and then like a secondary, I put like molecular and cellular bio.
Is that your interest?
I put it as my secondary interest, like ultimate goal, dream, job is to like get an MD, PhD and become a doctor. But I am interested in like cancer research and everything. So yeah, I would say overall bio and like molecular cellular bio are my big interests.
How many years did you prepare to apply to colleges?
Let me think. Like, if I'm being honest, I've like had this dream of getting into Harvard since I was like in first grade, because my like mom told me like, hey, Harvard's #1 college in like the world, and then I was like, #1, I need to go. So, but I guess like me preparing to get in started from like 6th or 7th grade when I started doing like science fair and started to get more involved with like extracurriculars that I knew were of interest to me and like other STEM related majors.
Can I ask, why did you choose Harvard as an early restrictive action? There could be Yale or Stanford. Is there any specific reason?
So as I kind of mentioned already, like Harvard's been the dream since I was young. I was really considering between Stanford and Harvard, because I heard from like several people that like Stanford really like science fair and like all those types of kids. But then I was like, but Harvard's like been my dream. I feel I'd have that regret if I didn't apply restricted early to Harvard. So then I did do that.
Many people will be curious about this because the Harvard acceptance rate, as you know, is around like 4%, right? Since 2,400 students got accepted from, out of like 60,000 students. So what do you think made you stand out in your college application?
The thing that made me stand out, so I actually received an email back from a person that looked at my application from Harvard's admissions committee. And she said the thing that like really stood out to her personally was #1, my deep-rooted interest in breast cancer research. And then the second thing was my essay. But I believe like more so than the essays were my research and the accomplishments that I've been able to thankfully receive during those times.
So you did the Harvard interview, right?
Yeah, I did.
But I don't know whether the alumni asked you this or not, but what is your favorite book and why?
Favorite book? That's a interesting question. I was not asked this during the interview. I read this like 3 years ago. It was Of Mice and Men. It has a very bittersweet ending, but like while reading the book, I don't know, I guess I really like the emotional books. Although I prefer happy endings always, like those emotional books like really have my heart as well. And I couldn't tell you the specific reason why, but I really did enjoy it. I did.
So how was the Harvard interview? Was it the like alumni interview?
So the guy that I was paired with, the doctor, he said he's been doing this for like almost like 20, 22 years now. So he's been at this for a long time. And he basically told me like, hey, like, for this interview, like you and me, we're on the same side, like, and you have to tell me everything about you so that I can write the most perfect version of you to send to Harvard. So then he was like really nice about everything. Like everyone was telling me like, oh, he's like a really strict man, but like no, he was like actually like really nice. But then I guess he like really made it comfortable for me to tell everything and like my interests, my passions, how I got started into it, and why I would like to go to Harvard. And so I was able to like explain that kind of well. And I thought it went overall very well, but like at the end I was scared because he was like, hey, even if you don't get in, just know that it's probably like not your fault. Like, so many people get rejected, early action. And I was like, oh, okay. But like I was a little bit scared, but because like I actually thought I wasn't gonna get in early to Harvard, so I was like writing like MIT and like all these like other places. Then he was like, oh my gosh, congratulations, you got in. So
is there any question that is really memorable?
Not particularly, because I feel like they were pretty much interview questions that someone could expect to be asked, like why would you want to go to our college, what got you interested in such passions, like how's your relationship in school, out of school, like all that. I guess the one thing that I would say though is at the end of the interviews, do you have any questions for me? I like really spent that time, I spent my time on that, asking him several questions in relations to my interests. So I don't know, maybe that could have helped a little bit, but yeah.
So, from which teachers did you get the recommendation letters and any optional recommendations from outsiders?
Okay, let me think. So #1 recommendation was from my mentorship teacher. So at my school in our district, we have this like mentorship class where we can like go to. So it's like not like an actual like class that's taught, but like we meet with the teacher every now and then and like update her on how our like mentorship is going and like write like reflections, hours, and all that, which is nice, I think. So then I got one recommendation letter from her because she is considered like a school teacher and mentorship is considered like a school class. And then the second one was from my junior year AP Bio teacher because like I really enjoyed bio. Bio is my major and I really liked her as a teacher. Outside, it was my internship like professor. It was him. And then the second one was actually my mom's medical oncologist, but then I also like consulted her about my breast cancer projects because she's like well professioned in breast cancer. So then it was like those two people, so two like that.
Okay, so one from counselor and one from mentorship class and one from the AP biology class, and the outsiders would be the mentor professor and the oncologist from your mother, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, gotcha. So do you think that those recommendations was very helpful?
Yeah, no, I do believe like it would have been like really helpful and nice.
May I ask what kind of ECs, extracurricular activities, or volunteers you do? And if it's possible, can you introduce each of them, such as like sports or instruments and stuff?
Okay, yeah, no, so most of my like ECs revolved around STEM related stuff. So I did science Olympiad, math league. I also did like debate. And then I teach at a local math academy that's actually like spread out nationally now after COVID. And then I play the oboe, been playing since 4th grade. I did fencing. And then I was really active in like science fair and then research and then science fair / JSHS, which is like a paper writing competition for science related projects.
Okay, here it says that you're a YouTuber, so made videos for like past 3 to 4 years to spread awareness about breast cancer. So that was your major activity, right?
Yeah, I started that because I wanted to spread awareness to like the teenage children population more. So still it was one of my major.